Coming to you from Little Rock, Arkansas, welcome to Sips on the Rock with Legacy Wine and Spirits. Join hosts and store owners Johnny Akins and David Bevins, along with product expert extraordinaire Jake Dell, as we chat about booze, news, and other happenings in the wide world of wine and spirits. Now, let's get to sipping.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Sips on the Rock.
Hello.
Hello. We have a very random, very special guest for us today.
Random. Found this guy wandering the aisle.
Wandering the hallways, and we just said, hey, why don't you sit down and talk to us? This is Sean Miner that's with us today.
Welcome, Sean.
Welcome.
Oh,
very good friend of ours.
It's been a minute since you've been here to town.
It has. You know, I think for 3 years, we haven't been traveling outside of Sonoma. So the last few years, there's been a few things going on, I think.
Yeah, right.
Fire, you know.
Not business as usual.
No, not for sure.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you, and kind of kidnapped Sean here and hoodwinked him into getting on the show.
He showed up at our store at the wrong time.
you just said I was just getting a bottle of water.
Awesome. So, Sean's been, how long have you been in the market here in Arkansas? Does anyone know
we
that?
were trying to figure that out. So we've been in business for 18 years. I think we've been in Arkansas for 14.
Wow.
Yeah,
outstanding wines, ones that you will not find in big box. You have to come to one of your local loving liquor retail establishments.
Sean's a big supporter of this local small business retailers, and that's one of the reasons we love him. Not to mention the fact that he makes some pretty awesome wines.
That also helps.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Not peddling crap around here. So let's dive in, Jake, and start popping some bottles.
Oh, me. Yeah, me. Okay. Yeah.
Come on, Jake. What's your hard-hitting questions?
So, Sonoma.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Tell us about what's going on in Sonoma. I know Napa's getting like crazy expensive out there.
It is.
I mean,
it is. It's getting expensive everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Just not in California, but you know, we've been very fortunate. We've had some wonderful vintages right in a row. We're looking, this year's looking fantastic. You know, we went through 2020 with the fires right after the pandemic. It kind of threw us all into a tailspin, but we've managed through it. We're seeing our 21 vintages hit the streets now. We didn't make any wine in 2020, which was kind of troubling, obviously from a business standpoint, but
right.
also just from a emotional standpoint, especially after going through the pandemic. But you know, I think we're hitting our stride. We're getting some incredible reviews on our wines, and people are really appreciating what we're trying to do, and still delivering that, you know, that kind of big bang for the buck, and not feeling like our pricing is getting us outside of the realm of feasibility for being an everyday type of consumed wine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Actually, in my show notes today, I did have a little bit on some of the crap going on in Napa. It's just nuts. Like average bottle cost is over $100 now.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not skewed at all by the higher end stuff.
Well, yeah, but I mean, tasting room fees going up.
Yeah.
Most of them are now, they're going to stick with reservation only.
Wow.
And like on top of that, tourism's down.
Yeah.
You know? I mean,
That's probably why their prices are going up.
It's I mean, how do you fix that problem?
Right.
On top of the egg, you got the chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually started in the business 35 years ago in Napa. I worked for BB there for a number of years. And that's really where I started my career. And I remember when it was still kind of a place that you visited, and it was just all about the wines and not necessarily just the kind of top end of the market. Yeah, it's changed a lot. I'm not going to be a person from Sonoma hammering Napa, but you know, Sonoma, we're a little bit more quaint and a little bit more family focused, and not that Napa doesn't have some wonderful families in it, but you know, it's a little different atmosphere when you come over and visit Sonoma for sure.
Nice. We haven't been out that way in several years.
It's been too long.
You know, everything is so skewed because of the pandemic. You know, like that whole 2020. It's like it didn't. There was a whole year that didn't happen, but like it was the busiest damn year we've ever had here at the store.
I bet.
So I mean, it's crazy. It's an odd concept of time.
We have 4 kids that are grown. It's funny. They all 4 came back during the pandemic, and you would be amazed at how much wine we went through. So we weren't selling a lot of wine to the restaurants that we usually went to. We sure were consuming.
Had to do something with it.
Yeah, it was difficult to get the recycle bin to the curb.
It's hilarious. Yeah, we got our recycle out back now, and it's people are definitely utilizing it.
Can't do it at
more
home
so
anymore,
than ever, right? Yeah, that's nuts. So we've got a shard here. I take it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So I'd kind of like for you
deduction
just like you're in a tasting event. Just tell our listeners all about it.
Sure. So as I mentioned, 35 years in the business, but I worked for other wineries, BV. I went up to Oregon, managed King Estate Winery up in the Willamette Valley, and then Benton Lane Winery, came back down to California. And Nicole and I, my wife, we started this in 2005. We're in Sonoma, just south of the Sonoma Square on 8th Street East. And we're very excited. We have Elle actually in the room here, our daughter, Elle Miner. She joined us in January as our new production manager, assistant winemaker. So we have the next generation toe, but we're a small family operation. We have 10 employees. But our kind of vision at the beginning was to create this enduring relationship with customers but more importantly, over deliver the type of wines that we're producing. So I had a lot of experience and connection in the business. So we decided to set a path and a journey out, producing wines that really exceeded expectations in terms of price, quality, and kind of bring it to this level of the fact that what we're talking about in Napa is that we've kind of moved to this point where we're putting wine on this pedestal and kind of keep getting it out of the reach of the masses. And that's not really the intention. I think wine in general is a lifestyle, and we see it in Europe. My wife's second generation Italian. Every time we traveled there, you didn't have to spend an arm and a leg for a beautifully made wine. Right. And so we kind of brought that experience back, and that's what we wanted to create. So, we do have some single vineyard, highly acclaimed wines that are $65, $70 a bottle, but majority of our business is under $30 on the retail shelf and then obviously in restaurants. So that's what we set out to do. And every single one of our wines are 90+ rated wines. We're in some of the same vineyards that we're with some other producers that are charging 2-3 times more than we do. But, being a small family operation, we're able to kind of keep things real and make some awesome wines that don't tug on your pocketbook too much.
100%. And these are, top quality wines. They're great. Let's give it a taste.
10 employees seems like a low number for the amount of cases y'all do. Would that be right?
I don't know. I think we're just, we all wear a lot of hats. I'm oversee all the winemaking. We don't own any vineyards. I always let people know that. I've managed over 4,100 careers in 4,100 acres in my career, not 4,100.
Wow. Job creator here.
Yeah. I've managed over, I have 32 jobs going on right now. You guys don't even see it. That's how good I am. I have a lot of experience in vineyard management, and what this project was about was just developing long-term sourcing contracts with some of the best growers in the Sonoma Valley and other parts. And so we work with some incredible second, third generation farmers that's what they do. So, we have partners on that side of the sourcing, and then inside. We didn't put all our capital into bricks and mortar. We put it into our sourcing to create great wines, and it didn't require us to have a huge employee roster to do that. So
that's awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. I know.
And we have some amazing employees. I mean, obviously, Elle Miner over here being our newest, but most of our employees have been with us 10+ years and been with us right from the beginning. So it's like an extension of the family. We're just one big happy family, all trying to get along.
Well,
that's awesome.
That's what makes a great workplace, and making wine is fun.
Yeah.
You got that going.
Yeah. So we're tasting the Chardonnay, our Sonoma Coast. So this is our signature series wines. These are all cork finished, black label to kind of identify them.
The new labels look really good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. What's kind of really neat, and a lot of people haven't realized this, but the QR code, I know we all got used to using QR codes during the pandemic, but this is really set up from an education standpoint. You scan that, it just doesn't go to our website. It goes to a specific microsite for each one of the items. And it gives these wonderful look and visual content of what's in the bottle, what it's about, and what we're about. So check that out when you get a chance. It's really a cool educational standpoint. So, but this Chardonnay is coming off the San Giacomo vineyards in Sonoma Carneros, a third generation farmer. They own over 1,600 acres. We're very proud to be working with them. This is all coming out of the Carneros region in Sonoma Valley, and it's 100% barrel fermented, but nice integration of oak and aged 10 months in French oak barrels. Just a real nice, I think, split in the middle between the big oaky buttery bombs and that naked Chardonnay all stainless steel. Just received a 92 in Wine Enthusiast this month with a nice label reprint. So it's gotten a lot of awesome
Congrats,
accolades.
that's right.
That is really amazing.
I've always
Amazing
been
wine.
a huge fan of the balance in your wines, and it comes across that you're not
Thank you.
just, going for the niche customer, pigeonholing yourself. Well, we only have this one segment that's going to like our wines. Everybody can,
Yeah.
for my money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, balance is defined by not one element standing above the other. And so, it's just not all about oak. It's just not all about the fruit. It's just not, and all these things can be somewhat disjointed. So I think what we try to do is really create an experience. Aroma is obviously important. It needs to smell like what the label dictates. There's Chardonnay. You want to smell Chardonnay in your glass. But really, I think what separates us is to really entertain your palate on entry, mid palate, and finish. I've already swallowed that wine and it's still kind of evolving. I can still pick up aromas. I still can pick up the mouthfeel to it. So that's what we've tried to do. So I really appreciate that comment because that's really something we focus on.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and for the price point, I mean, we talked about the quality. I mean, there's a lot going on to this wine. It's not just like
One note.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're getting a lot. Yeah.
Terrific job.
Thank you.
And congrats on the 92. That's great.
Yeah. Exciting.
Yeah. These are a little patio pounder there.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I think Chardonnay is taking a bad rap in terms of the style that's coming out of California. And, as I mentioned, those different extremes kind of can turn off some people. And I think this has some elements on both sides of that extreme scale that I just described, of giving an approach that gives all that creaminess, that real depth, the structure, the complexity, but then also it finishes nice and clean, and it just makes it a wonderful food wine.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So white isn't really Johnny's bag.
Actually, it depends. Yeah, it depends. I mean, I love my reds,
It's
but
like, don't speak for me.
yeah.
But I was
But it's not my
segueing
go-to.
into a red.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Dale,
Sure.
do your job over there.
Do it very well, by the way.
Yeah.
You're an important person
That's right.
holding the key.
So we're gearing up for a lunch downtown, which is, was the main point of Sean coming by today. He was going to make sure we're going.
Yeah, that's right. drag your ass there.
That's right. Yeah. But yeah, we, you out there listening don't know, but this is not the correct time we would be recording. We've had to shift our schedules, but we work well on the fly around here. We do have something exciting for our next show. Jake, you want to say anything about that yet?
Beer.
Wow, shocking.
We've had
Shocking.
this idea kicking around for a couple years now to do a little tournament, March Madness style bracket of Oktoberfest beers that are available here. And one side will be American, one side will be German, and we'll blind taste them all and see which one comes out the victor.
Oh, nice.
Maybe even using some special guests as guest tasters. So we'll see.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
It should be fun.
Little tickle tease there for what's coming. But yeah, no, I mean, we're very happy to have had Sean pop in the door today.
I know, but now we're having some wine in the podcast. We're about to go have wine at lunch. I don't think we're going to be coming back after.
Heyo.
No, we'll be clocking out.
Yeah, well, this will
Here shortly.
This will be it for us.
And it's rare we have a studio audience. Let's all wave at the studio audience today. Yeah, we've got spectators.
Yeah, one day we'll be performing in front of big crowds, right? That'll be
Well,
the
we are going to be
podcast live.
panelists at that podcast fest coming up next month. More about that to come.
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know why they want to talk to us.
I don't know. You know. That's all we do is talk. So what's the red here?
So this is our Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir, and similar to the Chardonnay, it's coming out of the Sonoma Carneros. So that Carneros region is such a unique ABA. California, I've always described as a hot viticulture area looking for cool sites. So we're having to find areas that get cooled down from some sort of maritime influence, some sort of waterway influence. So you think of the great Pinots and Chard coming out of California, you're thinking Russian River, Carneros, Sonoma Coast, Monterey. It's all these areas that get these wonderful cool breezes off the waterways there that really cool the vineyards down during the night. And that's what we have in Carneros. It borders the San Pablo Bay just below, and the San Pablo Bay is just above the San Francisco Bay. So you get these amazing cool breezes that come up there and just lay on these vineyards. So we can be in the high 40s, low 50s at night and elevate all the way up into the 90s during the day. So it just creates this very perfect environment for growing fruit. It really builds a lot of good acidity and structure during the evenings, and then respirates out some of that acidity and builds sugar during the day. And it creates a very slow maturing process on the vine. So this Pinot is coming from that Carneros area. The vineyards go sea level to about 850 feet, 875 feet above sea level. This is all harvested at night. It is 100% Pinot Noir, and I always stress that because, Pinot Noir as a variety, you should be able to see through the glass and see from the top down into the stem. And we don't blend anything in this to try to expand it. It's just really the true essence of showing what Pinot Noir can do. We're very grateful this year. This Pinot has been mentioned 4 times in Wine Spectator. It was talked about as being one of the top 12 Pinots under $35 out of the state.
Wow.
In January this month, it's featured again as one of the top values, 92 rating. But this is all hand harvested at night. We bring it into the cellar, very cool. We do a very gentle crush to stem, no maceration of the skins whatsoever. And then we do what's called tote to tank. So it falls into these 4x4s, and then we lift it up over the top of open top fermenters. And then it's aged once fermentation's done for 10 months in French oak. And it's just a real, I think, classic showing of what Pinot Noir is all about. It has great texture in the mouth and just really, really pretty notes. And it's a wonderful food wine. You can pair it with so many different things. It's probably one of the go-to varietal for me.
That's
sure.
great. And it makes itself. There's no labor intensive steps
That's
there.
exactly right. That's why we only have 10 employees. We don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big Pinot fan. That's probably my red go-to.
Yeah.
And this one checks every box.
Mm-hmm.
And I like like you said, it should be transparent, see through it. That's great.
Yeah.
So what's the third bottle here? And it's looking like a cab, I'm saying.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm opening them, pouring them. I can tell you what they are too.
We can just we know from the sound of the cork being pulled, kind of whispers Cabernet as the cork comes out.
So
I do love this new label.
As you said, y'all wear many hats. Everyone has to wear many hats.
Sure. Absolutely.
We try to stack as many hats on Jake as we can.
I love hats. Surprised I'm not wearing a hat today.
I appreciate you putting the barcode, the QR code away from the barcode.
That's so funny. I wish there was a massive strategy discussion between Nicole and I when we did this, but I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was just dumbass.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many times we scan a bottle and we have to put our finger over it because our scanners are hitting both of them.
Yeah.
It just makes things go crazy.
It'll pop up with a wall of text.
Yeah.
We have our POS system is great. Love every facet of it, but it's got some quirks. Scanning the QR codes is one of them.
Did you put yours there?
But also, if you scan a Mexican driver's license, it flips the screen upside down on our POSs.
Literally, the whole screen just goes upside down, and we have to. It's a mess.
So it's a national threat.
Yeah.
What you're saying?
It's nuts. And if you rescan the license, it does not correct it.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Right.
it's weird. I mean, computers are just kind of have their own minds, but yeah, that the QR code being away from barcodes, it's a big deal.
Well, Elle was just waving at me, telling me that she knew that. So thank God she's joined the company because she can make sure her parents aren't screwing anything up. And I'm sure it's a matter of time. She's already got a lot of thoughts about what we're screwing up. So she'll push us out.
That's what the next generation does.
That's right.
New, fresh
Yeah,
ideas.
you dumbass.
To the home with you.
All right.
It's usually mumbled when she's leaving a meeting. So this next one is our Cabernet North Coast. So it's a combination of a couple different counties in the North Coast. So Sonoma, Mendocino, and Lake County. It's stylistically, I think, Cabernet can be very gritty, very aggressive on the palate in terms of its level of tannins. I always describe this as more melting tannins, not necessarily real drying tannins. So I think it gets you back to the glass because your saliva glands are really pumping. But this is the first wine that we've talked about that we do a little blending. So it has a little Merlot blended in, about 5% with this vintage. And then obviously it's barrel aged in a combination of French and American oak. So it's got some real nice complexity. But as I mentioned, it's kind of not really soft tannins because I think that oversimplifies it, but it has some pretty complex tannins because it does have some that hit the center of the palate and dry out a little, but it also has these ones that kind of develop on the sides of the mouth. You guys might be experiencing that right now.
Yeah,
where
exactly.
It's a little more.
I've never heard that phrase melting tannins, but I love it. That's right on the head. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of, it does get your saliva glands going and it really kind of pressures you to put more wine in your mouth. Cool little trick.
Don't pressure me to put more wine.
This is a bossy wine. He keeps telling me to drink it.
That's an industry trick.
That's how we get people to buy more. It's an addictive character that we're very proud of.
Yeah, it's great. And you do get the rounding off from the Merlot. I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, it's only 5%, but it makes does the trick for sure.
And I mean, it is like cab right up your nose.
Yeah, this is my jam right here.
Yeah.
Gavin,
I love them all, but I do love my cabs.
Yeah.
And this was a tri-county, right?
Yeah. So North Coast, Sonoma, Mendocino piece is kind of cool. It's that is Bill Polly Ranch, second generation farmer. He's in his 70s, still riding around on the tractor. Mendocino is a real unique area. It has some hotter areas there go east, like Potter Valley, but then also Anderson Valley and some of these coastal areas that provide some real uniqueness out of that county. And then Lake County, which is just above Napa. So, we keep all these lots separate. So in any processing, it's not like we're blending all these together right from the get-go. So we go through crush to stem separately. We ferment separately and we age separately. So this has upwards of 40 different lots that get blended back together just before bottling.
Gives you a lot more quality control.
Very much so. You can kind of shrink some vintage variants that you might run into, which happens every year, but it gives us a little bit more ability to compare it to the previous two vintages and stay a little bit more consistent. And, sometimes there's certain parts of the vineyard that we contract for, and it's the same part every single year, but sometimes there might be some type of pressure, whether it's mildew pressure or pest pressure, might not turn out the way you anticipate. So you're able to kick that out without jeopardizing the whole blend.
Well, yeah, and you do want like some form of continuity year to year, but like we always, I always laugh at recipe wines where it's got to be the same every vintage. Don't even put a year on it because it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. And I think there's that's the uniqueness about wine is that we only do it one time a year, and we make what Mother Nature delivers to us. We don't have a lot of control on that. I don't lose sleep over that anymore, but it took I've been in the business 35 years and it's taken me 32 years to finally get over that. But you don't want something that's going to be, you want to accent and really appreciate that vintage variance, but you do want it to be in a subtle way that's not just like completely different from what your consumers anticipated this new vintage is versus the last one.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. And then, things also develop. It is a living, breathing thing. Develops as it ages,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's they've always been impressive wines. And then you factor in the terrific price point. It's just great go-to.
We love them around here.
We do. Yeah, we're and just again, just as a retailer, we really appreciate what you do for small business and retailers. And really, being a great business partner and thinking about us, and it comes.
It
through.
matters.
It does matter.
100%.
Yeah, it's when you start your own business, you kind of do it for a lot of different reasons, but one of the main ones is you like to, like the people that you work with,
Right.
And the environment of spending time with the people that are really dedicated to their trade is a heck of a lot more enjoyable than speaking to someone that is just managing by IRI the data.
Right. Faceless corporate overlords.
They don't even know anything about your wine. They're just looking at
numbers.
You're a commodity.
Yeah.
And our vision from the beginning is to create that enduring relationship with each one of our customers and our trade partners, and that's what we've tried to do. So hopefully I haven't offended anyone along the way, but sometimes that happens.
That's
I don't think so. I mean, it's a good common sense business decision,
Right. We'll never have, Mr. Bodabox sitting here.
Right.
That would be an awesome title.
John Boda.
John Boda. I actually really like that.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like I said, you've been here in the store, in the market before. It's great to actually have a face with the product.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I wish more people did it, because out of all the tasting events we've ever had in the store, when Sean Miner was here behind his products, selling them, it was the biggest wine event we've had.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. That's great. It's a great market. I love it. We did a big wine dinner last night, and it's always fun to see people. And what's amazing to me is that as well as we do in this market, there's so many people that have never tasted our wines and been introduced to our wines. It's just such a vast market, but it's always exciting to get out and show our wares and show what we're very passionate about, and hopefully that comes through with what we do and what we make.
Yeah, well, that's our job in the equation, is to break people out of their shells and get be adventurous. Try a Sean Miner wine.
We all have our parts to play. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was sitting up there just wondering, why the hell you have any other wines in your store?
That's a very good question. I ask myself that every day.
Well, that would certainly make Jake's life easy.
Yeah. We're at the Sean Miner Outlet Mall.
Is that too demanding? I mean,
we'll just need you to sign every bottle.
You're right.
Hey, if that's what it takes, I'm here, brother.
Rubber stamp it.
Right.
Well, where are we at time?
We were actually just about out of
20
time.
Yeah. Any
Wow.
burning desire?
any last words to
we put it on our side of our label. We're family owned. In an environment where we're seeing a lot of corporate entities take over a lot of stuff, we've stayed resilient and continue to do that. So it's an honor to have our wines represented here in your store. So thank you for that.
Well, it's a privilege to sell them. We can't thank you enough for your mentality with the whole big box store. We're fighting the man.
Your passion for the wine industry and the wine itself, it comes through in the bottle. So we really appreciate what you guys do.
And thank you for blindsiding me. Get me in front of a microphone. It wasn't as bad as I thought.
No, we have fun.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was going to be like a Dateline situation where we're just
we are very unserious.
Hard hitting questions.
Yeah, right.
No, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
No, thank you. All right, folks. Come get you some Sean Miner wine.
Yeah, we got plenty of them.
Right.
These will be moving right to the tasting bar, so they'll be open and ready to sample.
Next episode, we'll have Jake talking about football and beer.
Football and beer.
Nice.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Keep on sipping.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Remember to subscribe to our podcast, Sips on the Rock, and like us on all the socials to keep up with what's new in the wide world of alcohol. Shop LegacyLR.com for curbside pickup or local delivery. Remember, for better service and better selection, shop local. Please enjoy responsibly. Cheers.